Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Howdy!
All right.
Welcome to the In Wheel Time car talk show. Just ahead, we talk with Crystal Lopez about the Big Bend Open Road Race. Sounds like fun. Had a chance to drive the... actually, Mr. Mars had a chance to drive the Chevy Silverado.
Got to adjust it.
I know.
And he's going to give you his 2 cents on that. I'll give you my thoughts on other things, but not that. We'll also have
Can we choose not to?
We'll also have the cruise-in calendar, and later Conrad will have This Week in Auto History, along with the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Just ahead on this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks for joining us today. And speaking of joining us right now, we go to Crystal Lopez and the Big Bend Open Road Race. Crystal, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Well, as you can tell, we're a little bit deranged, but other than that, we're doing well. Where are you located, Crystal?
Fort Stockton, Texas.
Oh, you're out West Texas. Fort Stockton. Yeah, Fort Stockton. Huh. You know, I've never been to Fort Stockton, but I've heard of Fort Stockton all of my life.
I've been there.
How and?
It's on the way to El Paso.
And I spent the night there once.
Did
actually.
You?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike Mars slept here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's writing on the wall. So, Crystal, tell me about yourself and about the Big Bend Open Road Race. How are you involved in this?
So I am actually the race coordinator. Have been the race coordinator for probably the past 5-6 years. But I've been involved with the race since I was 18 years old. So I believe this is maybe my 17th race that we've done. This year is a annual race. So we're very, very excited.
Well, I hope that her signal clears up a little bit because her
Audio's a little garbled.
It's a little bit garbled. So just
warbly.
Yeah.
Audio's not good?
No, it's good.
That's
there
better.
you go.
Much better there.
Yeah, there you good now.
Can you hear it now?
Yes, much better. So, Crystal, as the race coordinator, let me ask you, what kind of a race is it? The Big Bend Open Road Race. Now, to me, that would be getting on some desolate roadway out there and going as fast as you can. Is that what it is?
So basically what it is we have a road from Fort Stockton to Sanderson that we close off from, of course, we get text permission. We close the road from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Hold on, Crystal. There you go. You just cleared up. Go ahead.
Hear me now?
No, it's bad. Mr. Mars, could you... You can't.
It's
Is it on her?
Do you
end?
have some audio on your end? Something where you're listening to the show? That's kind of what it sounds like.
No, I don't.
No, she doesn't. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, let's continue and try to talk to you about this. So it goes from where to where?
From Fort Stockton to Sanderson.
Sanderson. Okay. How far is that?
It's about a 58-mile course.
58.
So we go 58 miles one way and then 58 miles the other.
Okay, on the same road.
On the same road.
Okay. And is there a speed limit to it, or how does it work?
Okay, so there is going to be 11 categories. We range anywhere from 100 miles an hour to unlimited.
Wow.
So you have, yes. So we have 160 racers. That is our max capacity. We open registration in January. From January, we usually fill up within the first 15 minutes. And then the rest of the racers that have signed up will actually go onto a wait list. So those racers actually pick the category that they want to race in, depending on their qualifications. So if they are a rookie, they can only race up to the maximum speed of 110 miles an hour. Once they've completed their rookie year, they are actually allowed to move up categories 10 miles per hour each year or each race. We have now started a 2 race a year So I believe this is going to be our third October race as well.
Oh, an October race as well. Okay, interesting.
Yes.
And so there are 11 categories. Is it based on the car, the year model, the engine size? How does that work?
No, it's based on actually the racer and their qualifications. Of course, the car is going to take a lot into consideration. So your more challenging upper categories will be purposely built race cars. Last year, we've had an unlimited car go up to, during our practice run, 217 miles an hour.
Holy cow.
Yes. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Them Yugos are fast.
I was going to say, so some of these guys get really serious about this.
Definitely. And then, of course, safety is our number one priority. We have course workers along the race at each gate, so they are basically our eyes to the road. We have either 3 helicopters, 3 airplanes, and a helicopter up in the air at all times, being our eyes of the road as well as Sheriff's Department, Fire Department, EMS, all of the race crews on the line Saturday. So
this is not some sort of Saturday casual event. This is some serious stuff you got going out there.
Yes, sir, definitely. So we began planning in January for our April race, and then we will begin planning in July for our October race. So it takes it's a whole year job for me. It's definitely something we love and enjoy, but it is not just a casual Saturday race. Let's go to the track type thing.
Wow.
So you say you accept 200 racers per event? Is that correct?
We accept our max race capacity for the road, and our time limit has been 160.
160.
We will accept, I believe last year we registered over 200 racers. With our max capacity being 160, the rest of those will go onto our wait list. And then, of course, we usually have a large turnaround. We have racers call in, they've had accidents or surgeries or illnesses. I did have a racer one time call in and say, I'm loading up my car, getting ready to go. And the car, I guess I forgot to put the car in park, and the car drove into my neighbor's yard. So I can no longer make it. So when instances like that happen, I call the next one on the wait list, and they're usually eager to come in. I've even had cases where racers come in week of, knowing that they're still on the wait list.
Yep.
And somebody break down or something happen, and they actually get moved in. So it's a pretty good thing.
What does it cost to participate?
It will range anywhere from, for a rookie, I will say for rookie, it's about $1,100. Depending on the category and depending on what you're needing, it can go anywhere from $600 up to $1,200. So it all depends on what you're racing.
We need to get Mike involved in that.
Yeah, Mike. You could take one of your press cars out there.
That's what I was thinking.
The in-wheel time.
Yeah.
No. It would be something like, the Subaru WRX STI or, something fun.
I'm thinking Hellcat.
All the way.
That Hellcat, that'd be good.
Conrad's rally.
Yeah. Well, it would rev up to like a 200 mile an hour speed, but it wouldn't go 200 miles an hour.
No.
Okay.
Plus me being a rookie, I'd be in the lower class.
110 be your max.
Yeah,
it's true.
And I was reading, because they were running this race across 58 miles, like she mentioned earlier about the volunteers and having people at gates, every place there's a gate that comes out on there, they have a volunteer there to stop people from pulling out onto the track, because it's literally shut down to a private road for that time period. And so it's a lot of people involved, and you're out there all day, and it sounds like it'd be really cool to watch these cars come by at 100, 200 miles an hour out in the middle of nowhere.
It's not just a straight line.
Standing.
And it's not a straight line. There's like chicanes and hills and all that.
Well, it's just whatever the highway is.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is amazing. People are out there doing 150 to 200 miles an hour on a public road. That's in West Texas. I don't know how good a road it is. It's not like going down Interstate 10 where it's a really nice, smooth road, I'm thinking.
Well, I will tell you this, and I don't know. I've not been out there, and she could probably explain more, but my mind instantly goes to that I-10 coming in from going to Las Vegas. There's that long stretch out there where they ain't nothing, and you got to go through where the river is,
The scenery.
and out there where the dam is to get to Las Vegas.
Well, looking at some of the pictures on their website, it's a curvy road, and you're going through hills and up and around curves on hills and stuff.
It's a public highway.
This is not a straight shot.
It's not a drag race.
Crystal, do you participate? Have you driven it?
I have not. The closest I get to driving it is when I actually go from Fort Stockton to Sanderson. I tend to stay on the paperwork side. I have definitely seen plenty, but I just don't want to go those speeds. It's just not for me. I'm happy to plan it. There are plenty of people that I know that really do enjoy it. My brother races in it. My son is very eager to get to the age that he can enjoy the race. So there's just so much involvement to it.
Well, this is not a side-by-side, NASCAR style race. This is one of those that's a timed event that, you let cars go one at a time, correct?
Correct. So generally, when we begin the race on Saturday, of course, we have to make sure that the weather is perfect and everybody's in place and the road is clear before we even start. We generally begin with our unlimited car drivers. We let those off 3 minute intervals apart. Our unlimited car drivers will make it from Fort Stockton to Sanderson in about 20 minutes. Usually it's about an hour drive.
Oh, Mike,
so that just tells you how fast they're going. On top of, we have many, many turns and hills and straights. So this road by far is very, very challenging. I give those guys props, definitely. I would not drive that road at those speeds at all. Wow. Going to Sanderson, if we are running late, then I generally try to speed a little bit, but I generally have to hit the brakes because it's not for me.
Wow.
Are there very many or any female drivers that participate?
Oh, yes, definitely. You have a lot of male drivers, of course. You have a lot of couple drivers, which is husband and wife teams. And then you have females that want to race themselves. And then we have the instances that the couples come down, they want to co-drive, and then it turns out to be the wife ends up racing the entire race because she just loves it that much.
And the blinkers on the whole way.
So it's very, very competitive, and it is very fun.
I can only imagine.
Turn here. No, turn there.
Do you get a dry run or something, or can you get out there a couple days beforehand and make two or three runs on there so you know where the curves are?
So typically, of course, I know about communities. Sanderson is a lot smaller community than Fort Stockton. Fort Stockton has generally 1,000+ hotel rooms. So whatever rooms get booked in Sanderson, they're booked up completely. Most of our racers will stay in Fort Stockton and do that daily drive from Fort Stockton to Sanderson. First 2 days of the race, because the race is a 4-day event. We begin Wednesday in Sanderson. So being in Sanderson, they get to actually practice on the road from Fort Stockton to Sanderson, just trying to get to everything that they need to get to. Field registration, tech inspection. They'll move on to practice. We host rookie schools up there and a rookie qualification, and then they get to hang out the rest of the day or continue to practice. So generally their practice, they get it in all week long. We do ask them not to speed. We do have, of course, law enforcement on the road. One of our criteria is if they get a ticket or if they're caught doing something that they should not be doing and it involves law enforcement, we do disqualify them from the race.
Oh, that's good.
So our racers tend to be very well behaved.
Yeah, but to your point, though, going back and forth, that's a public highway. They can go down there anytime they want and drive on the public highway to learn where the curves.
Yeah, take notes.
They can't do it at speed necessarily that they want to.
But you can get some navigation notes at least.
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly.
For your co-pilot there, that's a good idea.
So looking at this on a map from Fort Stockton to Sanderson on Highway 285, there's nothing in the way. I mean, all it is Fort Stockton at one end and Sanderson at the other. There is not a town or anything in the way between these two. And this is, and forgive me because I'm gonna go there. This is kind of an evolution of the Silver State Classic Challenge in Nevada. Is that correct? So the Silver State Classic in Nevada is another open road race, and I think it's 90 some odd miles. That it's run what you brung and go top speed as fast as you want. So it's kind of cool to see something like this happening in Texas.
All right. Yes, it is. There is 3 open road races in that we know of. Of course, the Big Bend Open Road Race is Silver State, and then the Sand Hills.
So
there is 3 that you can attend and just enjoy.
So what's the end result? Trophy, national recognition, props?
Trophy.
Okay. Any
Props,
cash awards?
trophy, bragging rights, props. And that's really it. We give the trophies, the top speed award, the rookie of the year. We give the racer of the year. We even give a down and ducks award. So generally that goes to somebody that's had a lot of issues throughout the entire race. We've given it to somebody that had a buzzard actually go through their windshield. So it just all depends on what happens.
Buzzard award.
Yeah, he got the bird. So you could literally take your Corvette down there, Don, by it being your rookie year, and as long as you stay under the 110.
Well, looking at the pictures, there's a lot of Corvettes there.
Yeah, there are.
A lot of Camaros, a lot of Porsches.
Yes.
What is that? That white thing?
Lexus.
Volkswagen.
Got some Mustangs. We actually have a
The
small
Ford.
truck that comes in.
How
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, Crystal, when is the event again? April what?
This year it's
23rd.
going to be April 19th through the 22nd. So we complete that day of the race. I believe it's the 22nd. Let me verify. I'm sorry. I had 2 race dates in my head and
That's all right.
it's been straight. Let's see.
So where do we go to get more information and to follow along and get live updates and that sort of stuff?
So of course our website www.bborr.com, and then we are also very active on our Facebook pages. There are 2 different Facebook pages. There's an organization and then there's a group page. So you see a lot of back and forth through racers and questions happening on the group page, of course. And then our organization page, we have to give updates and things like that. We will continue to do live streaming this year from actually the start line and finish line, and give updates throughout that day, the race day.
Yeah, it sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Well, Crystal, we thank you so much for joining us and giving us the skinny on the Big Bend Open Road Race, and we look forward to checking back with you after the race is over, find out who won, and get the latest from you.
Sounds great. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank
Hope
you.
y'all can come out and join one day.
Yeah, well, you never know. We're everywhere.
Yeah.
Crystal Lopez, thank you.
Let me know.
We certainly will. Crystal Lopez with the Big Bend Open Road Race. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can always shoot us an email. Our address here is info@nwheeltime.com. Time now for the Cruise In calendar. Conrad has that.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to give it to us last hour,
Yeah.
but I said no.
You wouldn't take it.
I know. We didn't want to do that.
So
Don't do it.
going on right now is the car show at Grace Church up in the Woodlands.
And they're all watching us on the
And
big
they're
screen.
all watching us on the. I know one person is. Karen Martindale was.
Thank you, Karen.
So she had mentioned, she'd said hi on Facebook. Also today at 11 a.m. is Saturdays at the Ranch, and that's the Ranch Harley Davidson up in College Station. That's a free cruise in. 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Hot rods and cold brews at Nueces Brewing and Barbecue in Corpus Christi. Tonight at 5 to 7 p.m. the Splendora Car Meet.
I bet that's in Splendora.
It's in Splendora.
I would, yeah. I'm going to go with that.
Also tonight, 5:30 to 7 is Saturday Night Vibes Car Show at the Detail Garage on the Gulf Freeway. Tonight, or this afternoon, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Cars in the City Car Show in Texas City. Tomorrow at, let's see, tomorrow.
Sunday.
Sunday.
I'm sorry, on the 17th, the Bluebonnet Street Rodders cruise in College Station is 6 p.m., and that's going to meet at the 913 William D. Fitch Parkway.
That's on Tuesday.
Yeah.
On Tuesday. And then 18th is Freddy's Steak Burgers in Katy. That's 5 to 7 p.m. Also on the 18th, it's Wheels and Wine at the Bordeaux Vino Wine Club. Why do they do all of these places and there's liquor involved?
Read that one again. What is it?
Wheels and Wine at the Bordeaux.
No, that should be Wheels and Wine.
At the Bordeaux Vino Wine Bar.
WHINE?
WINE. At 4223 Research Forest up in the Woodlands. The Texas Huddle meet at the Texas Huddle Bar and Sports
Complex.
Texas Grill and Sports Bar at NASA Parkway in Webster. Also on the 18th at 8 p.m. is Park and Pizza at Mod Pizza in Katy.
Oh.
And then that's it.
I like my pizza. That's good.
Well, I like pizza.
Yeah, I like pizza too.
In fact, I was talking to one of my pilot friends, Tom Noto. Noto, obviously very Italian.
Mhm.
I said, so Tommy, what kind of a pizza? If I knew nothing about pizza,
Mhm.
what pizza is it that I would get my Italian
Thing.
going?
Not
A cheese pizza.
Wow.
That's it. That's
Plain
all.
cheese.
Huh?
Plain cheese.
It's cheese.
Mozzarella.
And then he said, forget about it.
And then
That's what I'm thinking. Forget about it. I want some bacon on it.
yeah, no bacon. It's certainly no pineapple. All right,
No
time
pineapple.
now for this hour's car, or shall we say truck review.
Is this
Mr.
Mars's
Mars.
turn?
It's Mars's turn this time.
Is that two words or one?
It is. Yeah, exactly. The Chevy Silverado half-ton.
2023 Chevrolet half-ton Silverado 1500 with the LT Trailboss four-wheel drive badging on it. Now, I say that because we had this discussion a little bit earlier before the show. In doing the research on this vehicle, I've got the Monroney here. It is an LT1 Trailboss, all four-wheel drive. However, if you go out to the press area and you start digging around, there's actually a Trailboss, one word, versus a Trail space Boss, two words. And I don't understand why Chevrolet's using the two different terms. I could not figure that out, but we're going to get a hold of somebody and see if we can get an
get to the
explanation.
bottom
Who
of
is that?
this.
Who's that somebody going to be?
Somebody with Chevrolet with their
But do you know the name?
not yet.
I don't know anybody at General Motors.
Well, we're going to dig. We're going to
You know,
find.
Conrad used to be General Motors.
Yeah.
He used to be.
Yeah.
So
retired.
did you.
So anyway,
Yeah.
we're going to go with this. So this is the LT Trailboss four-wheel drive, and I'm going to say it comes in a couple of different trim levels based on the engine choice. And an interesting note I found out at the GM Authority website, which is it's not General Motors per se, but they have reports. There are constraints on the production of this pickup.
Wow.
And they're trying to figure out why this pickup and there's another Chevrolet that's under constraint. So it's kind of a weird deal. So we need to figure out a lot of stuff on this. But this, best I can tell, kind of fits in between an LT1 and an LTZ. It's not quite as much of an off-road vehicle as you were talking about, the Bison ZR2, but it's still an off-road vehicle. Full-size pickup, seats 5. Got a 22 major update, so it's got some trim up levels on it, or trim upgrades on it for this year. And up front, you're going to find LED lighting with the reflector type headlights, fog lights are LED, tail lights, running lights, and even the cargo bed lights are all LEDs.
Wow.
It's got the off-road high clearance side step, so you get a little more there. It comes with a 2-inch factory lift with a Z71 suspension package. It's got the corner rear bumper steps on it, and it does have the Easy Lift multi-use tailgate that I'm learning to like a whole lot. We were rolling on some 18-inch gloss black painted aluminum wheels. And what I could see, we had the hardcover tonneau cover, that you flip up into 3 pieces.
Mhm.
One of the things that I'm just going to whine about this a little bit. So I dropped the tailgate, and I want to fold it back to put some stuff in there. And I'm looking for the release.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah, there's an emergency release over here, but there's no release.
You pull the emergency.
So it looks just like the one in the trunk of a car. If you're stuck in there, you pull the emergency release, it opens it.
It's the Jimmy Hoffa release.
Yeah, I guess, but why would you need that in the bed of the truck? Why not just have a release? But anyway,
well, in case you don't know, and it signals you that if you're locked in there, like you say, it signals you that's it.
Right. Well, if I get locked in the bed of the truck,
there's a reason for that.
Yes. So
Becky did it.
Yeah. On the inside, we wanted to note that we had the front bucket seats with the console. Now, that's standard, but over in the options on this vehicle, it lists the bucket seats with a console option for $620. Now, these seats are heated, and it's got the 13.4-inch touchscreen. That's where you're going to find all your convenience controls, your air conditioning, your nav, everything like that. And it's got a 12.3-inch digital driver screen on it. So the driver's got plenty of information on it. And one thing I did want to note in regard to the multiflex tailgate, obviously that's a $445 option, as Don mentioned earlier. However, we happen to have a credit because we were not equipped with the steering column lock, so we got a $50 credit on our vehicle.
What?
So, up under the hood to make all this go, we had the 3.0-liter Duramax diesel, 305 horsepower, 495 pound-feet of torque.
What'd you think of that?
I really liked it, even with the stop-start feature on it. I was surprised. The only time I could really tell it was a diesel was the initial startup first thing in the morning. After that, it didn't even register that I was driving a diesel. I was so quiet.
It's interesting when you look at the incentives that they're offering, the cashback incentives. All of the cashback incentives are built around the 4-cylinder turbo, not the Duramax and not the V8.
Well, again, that's the move to EVs and everything else. So the EPA says you should be looking for 21 miles to the gallon in the city, Highway 23, combined 22. I happen to get 15.5 across 458.4 miles. So I drove it a lot. Again, didn't sound like a diesel, but I really like driving that per se. And again, it fits underneath, trim level wise. What Dom was driving is a much more off-road type vehicle, in my opinion.
You win.
So this is kind of like a CUV. It just seemed to ride and drive better than what I would expect a full-blown off-road vehicle like yours to.
Could you turn off the stop-start?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So we were looking at $56,300 for the base trim. The price as tested on this vehicle was $64,780. And again, you're looking at Ford, Toyota, and Ram for comparable type vehicles, depending on how you want to trim them out, how they're going to fit in the price. But I was pretty impressed with this vehicle, other than a few nuances that I got to talk to Chevrolet about one of these days.
Well, maybe you'll get a chance at the car show.
I'm going to do that.
There you go.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available at your fingertips over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Stay with us.
Some things just belong together. Chips and queso, beer and barbecue, and the Auto Show and Boat Show. January 25th to 29th at NRG Center. One ticket, 2 great shows. Climb Jeep Mountain, board your dream boat, get the kids hooked on fishing at the trout pond, and join Evolve on an EV test drive, including the Ford Lightning. See all the latest models at the Houston Automotive Show, January 25th to 29th. Buy early and save at automotiveshow.com.
Your friends and hosts of the quarterly Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy want to thank you for your participation in last year's events and look forward to more in 2023. You'll hear about them all right here and online soon. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex near I-10 and Highway 6 or at the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. In Beaumont or College Station, you'll want to stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are car people through and through. Both are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. You'll see them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In the spring at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99, the Grand Parkway, and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details soon right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. The The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on InWheelTime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast channel. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.